You're listening to the station that's been owned and operated by your friends and neighbors for over 72 years.
Big 14. 5 in a row. Come on, baby. Let's boogie.
Number one then, and number one in local talk now.
Join me, Paul Preston, for Agenda 21 Radio.
I'm Bob Day, host of The Great American Story.
Listening to The Good Life with me, Mike the Wine Guy.
Hey, this is Live with Lou, broadcasting high atop Mount Huth.
KMYC, 1410 AM, Marysville, Yuba City.
And on the 58,357,941st day, God looked down and said, "What the hell happened to my paradise?" So God made the state of Jefferson. God said, "I need people who will work all day at the mills, see their jobs legislated out of existence, then still suffering from unemployment, rig a pump to bypass the head gates after government thugs shut off the water to the ranches. People to carry guns in public, film cops, hold public meetings, sign petitions, write the local papers, start podcasts, YouTube channels, and radio shows to inform everyone on how their rights are being eroded, then being mocked or called crazy, is still continually being proven right with each story in the news or piece of arbitrary legislation handed down from Sacramento." So God made the state of Jefferson. God said, "I need people who will lose the rights to their natural resources to state agencies, then watch the forest burn down every year. People to be told they can't be trusted with more than 10 rounds, start a business without paying the state their cut, fill out these forms, wait in line, pay these fees, and then hope they don't become felons overnight with a stroke of a legislator's pen. People whose voices are drowned out by big cities and special interests." So God made the state of Jefferson. God said, "I need people who will look around and realize their freedom is being lost, get pissed off about it, challenge the status quo, and when told that's never going to happen, say just you wait, and mean it." So God made the state of Jefferson. God said, "I need people to get licensed, permitted, taxed, fined, regulated, restricted, registered, speak truth to power, get arrested for it, come out with the charges dropped, then go to work and look at their paychecks and see how much of it they're being forced to pay for. People to bring communities together with the love and support of the common dream of the double cross flying in the morning sun. People who will laugh and then sigh when their children say, 'We don't want to grow up living off the hand of California,' and reply, 'That is the right state of mind.' So God made the state of Jefferson."
What do you have to lose by trying something new?
So my advice to you, if you want change, you better get your walking boots on. You better get out there. And remember, anything is possible if enough decent people are prepared to stand up against the establishment.
Saw it on a show, but I heard it in the alley on the weird radio. You wanna drink of water, you got to get it from a well. If you wanna get to heaven, you got to raise a little hell.
That's another beautiful Saturday morning here in the state of Jefferson. To the show on Sunday morning. It re-airs Sunday morning at 9 a.m. right here on KMYC 1410 a.m. The Patriot. But right now it's live on Saturday, 8 a.m. From 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's Radio Free Jefferson. That's what you're listening to right now. Thank you for tuning in. This is a radio show that is proclaiming liberty and statehood throughout Northern California unto all the decent inhabitants thereof. As usual, we are broadcasting by the dawn's early light from high atop the ramparts of Fort Mount Huth on KMYC 1410 AM, The Patriot. You can also listen in online on KMYCradio.com or MikeTheWineGuy.com. And pretty soon we will be available by podcast, so you'll be able to listen anytime you want. But that hasn't been set up yet. That's coming soon. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Santos Vigil. I'll be your host from now till 9 a.m. I want to thank City Cafe and CC Cellar and Suds for sponsoring Radio Free Jefferson. The City Cafe is on Plymouth Street between Highway 20 and Bridge Street, more specifically between Tea Garden and Center Street. City Cafe is on the east side of Plymouth Street, and CC Cellar and Suds is on the west side. They're across the street from each other, and they're both owned by the same couple, Michael and Stephanie Fritz. Thank you guys for sponsoring Radio Free Jefferson. So head over there and grab yourself a great meal. Man, they serve excellent food there at City Cafe, and also at the Cellar and Suds. I had some pizza there during a fundraising event, or a meet and greet event for Jason Reichard, who is running for Yuba City Council, and they had some pizza on hand there, and it was delicious. And they also serve beer and wine there, so go over there and have a great time. They have all kinds of events throughout the week, trivia night, taco night, and all kinds of fun stuff. It's just a fun place to go. So thank you guys for sponsoring Radio Free Jefferson. Coming up after this show, it's Live with Lou Binninger from 9 to noon. And then from noon to 2 p.m., it's The Great American Story with Bob Day. From 2 to 4 p.m., it's The Good Life with Mike, the Wine Guy Rayford. Then from 4 to 5, it's Safari Real Estate with Lori Strunk, and also The Dirt with Lori Strunk. She does 2 different shows back to back. And then during the week, make sure you tune into Agenda 21 Radio. That's Paul Preston's show. That's on from 7 to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday, right here at KMYC 1410 a.m. So thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the whole concept of the state of Jefferson, I invite you to come out to the Sutter County Committee on the state of Jefferson. Our next meeting will be this coming Monday at 6:30 p.m. Church of Glad Tidings. That's at 1179 Eager Road. You can head north on 99 if you're coming up from Yuba City, or south on 99 heading from the direction of Live Oak. Technically, the Church of Glad Tidings is in Live Oak, but for all intents and purposes, we call it Yuba City. It's pretty much halfway between, and it's right in between Live Oak Boulevard and Highway 99. So it's hard to miss. The building we meet in, it can be tough to find though, because I work at the Church of Glad Tidings for now. That will be coming to an end here shortly, but for now I work there. And when you first come in, there's a number of buildings, and the building we'll be meeting in will be the 2-story building at the north end of the parking lot, right where the parking lot transitions from pavement to gravel. And you go upstairs, and it'll be the rooms at the far north end of the building, rooms 210 and 212. That's 6:30 p.m. this coming Monday. That's the Sutter County Committee on the State of Jefferson. There's 21 counties have declared their desire to separate from the state of Jefferson, so they all have their own committees, and they're all doing their own work to make it all come about. I happen to be on the Business Development Committee, and as such, one of my responsibilities, along with my committee members, is to invite, encourage, and just plain ask local businesses if you want to promote your business as a supporter of the state of Jefferson. We will make every effort to send Jeffersonians to your business. We believe in rewarding those who help bring the state of Jefferson into being. So right now we have a number of businesses that are on board. We have Greg Davey Painting. We have All Seasons Tree and Turf Care. We have Thomas Burns Plastering, and also Vincent Burns Plastering. Let's see, we have Joel Emerson Pest Control. We have Greenitz Construction. And let's see, I know there's more than that, but that's all I have written down for right now. And if you want to be on that list, I'm gonna come up with a handout to give to everybody at this meeting. And we haven't decided what we're going to call it yet. I'm kind of leaning towards the green and gold pages. Those are the unofficial official colors of the state of Jefferson. And it's a play on the yellow pages, obviously. So we'll call it the green and gold pages. And we'll just send people to your business to thank you for supporting the state of Jefferson. I know it's for a lot of people, it's I don't know, it's kind of, I guess it's scary to let it be known that you support Jefferson, because there's a lot of political activity in this area, having two county seats so close together. There's just an air of politicization. Is that right? Is that not even close? We can edit that out for tomorrow's show. I don't know, man. Don't know how to say that word. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm saying. It's still early. I've only had 2 cups of coffee, and I don't think that second one's kicked in yet. Anyway, so come on out Monday at Church of Glad Tidings. What? Church of Glad Tidings for the Sutter County Committee on the State of Jefferson. And then come out on Monday, September 5th, from 2 to 5 p.m., also at the Church of Glad Tidings for the Sutter Butte's Tea Party Patriots. Let's see, what would that be? Semi-monthly meeting? Yeah, 2 meetings a month would be semi-monthly. And that will be our first meeting of September. And since it's, technically it's a holiday. It's Labor Day. To me, that's more of a communist holiday than a true patriotic holiday, but we still celebrate it. So we're going to have a barbecue out there at the Sutter Butte's Tea Party Patriots meeting. It's free. We do ask you to bring a side dish and just come out there and have a good old time with your friends and neighbors and talk about what's going on in the world, or just talk about whatever's on your mind. There's all kinds of people from all kinds of walks of life that come to these meetings. We're not all a bunch of gun-toting, Bible-thumping, right-wing wackos. Although, I am. I'm not afraid to admit that, but not everybody is. And we're not as nuts as the media makes us out to be. We're kind of crazy, but we're not nuts. Come out and see for yourself. Don't trust the media. Do your own research. Come on out to the Sutter Butte's Tea Party Patriots meeting. Come out to the State of Jefferson meeting and learn for yourself what's going on in this area. Well, let's see. All kinds of stuff going on. Allen's Auto Body also. Kevin Clark owns Allen's Auto Body. He's on, what is that, Market Street down there on, down at the foot of between the 5th and 10th Street Bridge, on the Yuba City side of the 5th Street Bridge and the 10th Street Bridge. Kevin Clark's a good friend of mine, known him for over 20 years. We used to be golfing buddies before. I haven't golfed in 5 years, man. I got to get back out there. But for the time being, go out there, and if you get in a wreck, go see Kevin. He'll take care of you, give you a good deal, and he's an awesome guy. Also, go to SOJ51.net. That's SOJ51.net to find out what you can do to help the state of Jefferson come into being. Make sure you click on the 51sters tab, and that will give you the information on the legislators that need to be called for today. And even though it's Saturday, you can still leave a message, and they'll get it first thing Monday morning. And there's addresses there for you to write to, email addresses for you to write to if you're more of an emailer. If you're not a phone caller, everybody has their own gifts, skills, talents, and abilities. If you're a letter writer, come on out to the meeting on Monday and show people how easy it is to write a letter to the editor. Give them some helpful tips. One of our committees is all about how to write to your legislators. So if you're more of a writer than a phone caller, write an email, write a letter. And then also click on the donate button. We're going about this in two different ways. We are ultimately going to do this using the constitutional process as laid out in Article 4, Section 3 of the Constitution on how to create a state from existing states. I'm going to play a clip by Mark Baird after the break, and he'll kind of give you a rundown on the whole Article 4, Section 3 thing, how that works. But in the meantime, we're going forward with a lawsuit to prove our assertion that we are suffering from what's known as a dilution of vote. And if we win that lawsuit, which we have a very good chance of doing, because there have been other such lawsuits that have made their way through the courts all the way up to the Supreme Court, and we fully expect this one to go to the Supreme Court as well. But that, when we win that case, that will not automatically make us a state. That will just prove our point, and that will throw the ball into the California legislators' court, and they will need to either grant us adequate representation, equal representation as laid out in the Constitution, or they'll have to start the process of allowing us to split the state. So also coming up on, let's see. Oh, another thing you can do to get the point out, get the word out about the state of Jefferson. Go to jeffersonoutfitters.com, jeffersonoutfitters.com, and order your Jefferson gear, your baseball caps, T-shirts, bumper stickers, window decals, your flags, there's all kinds of paraphernalia there. Koozies. I think they might even have beer mugs and wine glasses by now. I'm not 100% sure about that, but check them out at jeffersonoutfitters.com and get the word out there. Get the people seeing the state of Jefferson everywhere they go, and be part of that process. And along the lines of getting the word out, there is a ton of things to do in the state of Jefferson. We are blessed with beautiful weather this time of year. We're coming up on the fall season. Autumn is right around the corner. Temperatures are dropping slightly, still in the low to mid 90s, but with any luck, all that 100-degree business is behind us. And the number of events you can go to get the word out and to meet new people and invite them to these meetings. Get other people involved in the process. Many hands makes for light work. So come on out and be part of the work, and get out there and display your Jefferson gear. This weekend, as a matter of fact, there's a couple of events happening right now down at the River Bottoms. There is the annual Yuba Sutter Stand Down that started on Thursday. This is for disabled veterans. Available services include medical, dental, and vision services. There's food, showers, haircuts, shelter, clothing, education information, socialist security information, veterans benefits, and I did say socialist security, by the way, instead of social security. The little thing I have, I don't particularly care for social security, so I call it socialist security. That's who benefits mostly from socialist security it's the government, socialists in our government. We would be much better off investing our own money into our own retirements. I don't know what the exact breakdown is that money that goes to just administering the Socialist Security Department as opposed to what goes out to recipients, but I'm sure it's obscenely in favor of the bureaucracy. Anyway, getting back to the annual Yuba Sutter Stand Down, there will be, employment assistance, public assistance, drug, alcohol, and mental health counseling, women's health and female veterans service, and much, much more. Information can be found at the Stand Down office at 604 D Street in Marysville, or you can call Marvin King at 749-6710. That's area code 530, or you can visit the VA clinic at 425 Plumas Boulevard. I don't know if those are open on the weekend, but head down to River Bottoms and check out the annual Yuba Sutter Stand Down and wear your Jefferson gear and get to know these great veterans. Thank them for their service and invite them to be a part of this whole State of Jefferson movement. Also going on this weekend, it's the Butte County Fair up in Gridley at 199 Hazel Street. To view the fair booklet and everything that's happening at the Butte County Fair, go online to buttecountyfair.com. buttecountyfair.com, or call the fair office at 846-3626. Let's see here. I got a couple more minutes before the break. Also happening today from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. up in Grass Valley. It's the 121st Miners Picnic at the Empire Mine State Historic Park at 10791 East Empire Street in Grass Valley. There will be live music and special activities for children, as well as an old-fashioned cakewalk and a silent auction. Something for everyone, and everyone's invited. Admission is $7 for ages 17 and over, $3 for ages 6 to 16, free for children under 6. There will be tasty food and snacks for sale near the clubhouse, or bring your own lunch and bring your blankets and chairs as well. Well, let's see here. Goodness gracious, all kinds of stuff going on here. There's no reason for you not to be able to go out and find something. There's something right around the corner, and there's things to do up the road, and there's work for you to do, as you heard in that opening clip with Donald Trump and Nigel Farage. Farage, I guess is how you say his name. We need to put our walking boots on and get out there and make this thing happen. Let's see here. August 27th, there's an art show and sale at the Theater Gallery in Yuba City. Exhibits include Amelia Villagomez, I guess is how you say her name, Nancy Balkowicz. Also on exhibit are works by Rosalind Bliss, D. Ellen Day, J. Frink, Louisa Leger, I'm not sure how you say that name. It's Leger, and Paul Spoto, S-P-O-T-O. There's an artist reception. Let's see, the gallery hours are Wednesday through Saturday, and this is at 756 Plymouth Street. So it's just a few doors down from the City Cafe. Located at 756 Plymouth Street. Hours are Wednesday through Saturday, 12 to 5:30 p.m., from noon to 5:30 p.m., or visit suttertheater.org for the art show and sale. Let's see, coming up next Friday, September 2nd, there will be a tri-tip dinner hosted by Bangor Volunteer Fire Company, number 55 at Bangor Hall and Park, 5 to 7 p.m. Adults 8 p.m., kids to age 8, $5. 3 and under are free. That's up in, Bangor Hall and Park. September 2nd, there's a tri-tip dinner hosted by the Bangor Volunteer Fire Company, number 55. Next Saturday, September 3rd, the Foothill Art Society's 7th Annual Art and Wine Show will be held at the Southern North Medical Center at 16911 Willow Glen Road in Brownsville from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Art exhibition from local artists and elementary school pupils, art raffle, a silent auction, and much more. Food and drinks under shady pines and canopy tent. There will be a wine tasting, live music, and free admission. That's next Saturday, September 3rd, at the Southern North Medical Center at 16911 Willow Glen Road. If you can't remember all these events, pick yourself up a copy of the Territorial Dispatch, and this is on their community events. I'm just reading right off their community events page. Or you can go online at eterritorial.com or territorialdispatch.biz. Okay, I got my friend Leon is in here, operating the board today. So Leon, let's go ahead and go to break, and we'll see you right after a couple of songs and a couple of messages. Thanks for tuning in to Radio Free Jefferson. We'll be right back.
I'm Maria. Don't you know I have come a long, long way? I've been longing to see her. When she's around, she take my blues away. Sweet Maria, the sunlight surely hurts my eyes. I'm a lonely dreamer, lonely highway in disguise. Maria, I love you.
This is John Kupal, president of the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association. Many Californians under the age of 50 do not remember the Great Tax Revolt of 1978 that passed Proposition 13, the landmark measure that limits property taxes and allows local voters to have the final say on new taxes. By limiting annual increases, Prop 13 makes property taxes predictable from year to year. And this doesn't just benefit senior citizens who worry about losing their homes, it benefits all homeowners. For example, a family who bought their home just 5 years ago in 2011 has already seen significant tax savings. Today, the median sales price is 79% higher. Under the old property tax system, based on current value, the family who bought their home in 2011 would have seen their taxes nearly double in just 5 years. To download a free guide to your rights under Proposition 13, go to hjta.org. That's hjta.org.
Paid for by the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association.
Hello, I'm Bob Day, creator and host of The Great American Story. Join me every Saturday from noon to 2 and enjoy the true and unusual stories of our exceptional nation's amazing past and the people who made it happen. That's The Great American Story, every Saturday from noon to 2, right here on AM 1410 KMYC, The Patriot. And in the meantime, visit us on the web at thegreatamericanstorywithbobday.com.
Hi, Mike Rayford here, a.k.a. Mike the Wine Guy, host of The Good Life Show, where we discuss food, wine, travel, and lifestyle every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. right here on KMYC, 1410 a.m. You can also listen online at kmycradio.com and MikeTheWineGuy.com, as well as follow me on Facebook. That's The Good Life Show every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. on KMYC, 1410 a.m., The Patriot.
Good evening, supervisors and everybody. I am so passionate to see these citizens in these State of Jefferson shirts. It just grabs my heart. It really does. That these people are true Americans that care about this country with all their heart. They would definitely give up their life for this country. That's why they're here. They're shouting to you. They're coming to you as a gentleman and saying, please, we need you to do something. Things are not right here in California. I grew up here all my life, and they're not right. Companies are leaving here, and we're going the wrong route. And these people are here tonight, and I support what they're doing. Please vote for it. And let's put it to the state, let's put it to the federal government. Let's let them know that we're not happy. Support these people tonight. They mean well with their hearts. Thank you.
Hey, CA, come out and play. Have you seen the bill that we have to pay? It's not our bill. We had no say. You don't serve us, you serve LA. The time has come for 51 in a Jefferson state of mind. You don't know us, you have no clue, and still you tell us what to do. We don't know you, or what you face. It's time to start a brand new state. The time has come for 51 in a Jefferson state of mind.
Well, all right. Welcome back to Radio Free Jefferson. My name is Santos Vigil. Thank you very much for tuning in this morning. It's a beautiful Saturday morning in the state of Jefferson. And before we went to break, I was giving you a rundown on events happening in the area that you can go to make some new friends and get the word out about the state of Jefferson, get people involved in the process. You know, you can't be the only one who's dissatisfied with the way the state of California is being run. I'm going to read a story here in a few minutes from on capitalcapoliticalreview.com. That's an online publication, and there's a story in there about how California is the least tax-friendly state in the United States, and we've got a whole new slew of taxes coming our way here in November if we don't get our act together and get out there and inform our friends and neighbors, co-workers, just what's coming down the pike and what they can do about it. We don't have to be victims here. We can take steps to regain our freedom Liberty, what is it? How does that saying go? Freedom is not free. It does take some work. Somebody has to pay for it in some way. And not everybody has to pay for it with blood or limbs or life like our military personnel do. I want to give a thank you to all our veterans out there listening, active and former. We appreciate all you do to help secure liberty for us and our children. That's what it's all about anyway. We should want liberty for ourselves, but mainly we want it for our children. And because every year, little by little, Thomas Jefferson pointed out that government takes just a little more of your freedoms every year, just a little, like a drip of water, drip, drip, drip. And pretty soon, before we even realize that our freedoms are gone, and if we don't get our children involved, if we don't stand up for them, they won't even know what they had available to them. It'll be gone. So, speaking of drip, 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 if you have a plumbing issue that needs to be resolved, the plumbing doctor is a supporter of the state of Jefferson. Lou Benninger from Live with Lou came in and reminded me about that. And as a reminder, Lou will come up in just over half an hour here, just under half an hour here on Live with Lou on KMYC 1410 AM from 9 to noon. So if you have a plumbing issue that needs to be resolved, call the plumbing doctor. If you have a warehouse or some sort of concrete floor, wooden floor, doesn't matter what kind of floor you have, and you need it torn out and replaced, call Liftoff Floor Removal. Those businesses are owned by Ted Holmes. I think Ted owns a plumbing doctor, and his son Tim owns Liftoff Floor Removal. And they're a great bunch of guys. They're hardworking guys. They're friendly, and they know what it's all about to do business in the state of California. They run into the bureaucracy probably on a daily basis. So they know what it's like to do business in California, and I appreciate anybody who does business in the state. Thank you for taking the slings and arrows and standing tough. We're coming to your aid. We're getting our ducks in a row, trying to create ourselves a new state to make it easier for you to do business. So thank you, Lou, for reminding me about the plumbing doctor. Also, Lou is the head of the Trauma Intervention Program, and he has a fundraiser coming up on September 24th. That's a Saturday at 6 o'clock at St. Isidore's Catholic Church out on Clark Avenue. Is it Street? Clark Avenue. And that's that's very, very heavily attended year after year, but he's always striving to make it larger. So if you have something you can donate to the cause to be auctioned off or raffled off, get a hold of Lou at 673-9300 or go to Trauma Intervention Program's website at yubasuttertip.org for more information. And that's a great organization that Lou runs. These people at Trauma Intervention are right there with the first responders, offering a shoulder for people to cry on or lean on in times of trouble, trauma. And these are all volunteers. They do it out of their goodness of their heart. And so you need to get out there and support them, or even become a part of the Trauma Intervention Program. They have training sessions, I think once or twice a year, but once a year. And they'll teach you how to be a caring member of the community. So that's September 24th, St. Isidore's Church on Clark Avenue, 6 o'clock p.m. Come on out to the Trauma Intervention fundraising dinner. Also on the calendar, let's see, September 4th. This is next. Oh, that's a Sunday. I can go to this. This will be the Brownsville Blues Festival in the Brownsville Amphitheater, Ponderosa Way in Brownsville, from noon to dusk. $15 at the gate. Children 12 and under are free. This is sponsored by the Yuba Feather Community Services, Inc., Gold Eagle Market of Brownsville, and Christopher Hey-Ho Real Estate. More information, call Clay Thompson at 530-675-0195. And I just want to make it clear, I do not know if those organizations support the state of Jefferson. I don't want to give that impression. I don't want anybody to cause problems for these these nice people. They're just out there trying to give you something fun to do on a weekend, and it's an opportunity for you to get out there and meet new people, and just thank these sponsors of these events. It takes a lot of work to put these events on, so get out there and be a part of them. Get out of the house and make your presence felt, increase your sphere of influence. Also, September 4th, there's an old-fashioned picnic at the Gazebo Island on historic Ellis Lake in Marysville. Bring a blanket, chair, and learn about the fun history of this area. This is a fundraiser for the Historic Fair for 2017. Hot dogs, salad, and drinks. Adults will be $10. Adult admission is $10. Children are $5. 3 and under is free. Or for a family of 3 or more, it's $20. I'm sorry. Family of 3 or more, it's $20. There's be music, family fun and games. There's a cakewalk, a children's area. No alcohol allowed. You can pre-purchase tickets at the Candy Box and 3rd Street Emporium in Marysville. The following weekend, September 9th, 10th, and 11th, it is the Civil War Days at Riverfront Park. Admission is $10 on Friday. Admission is $10. On Friday, it's Kids Day, so kids are free on Friday. For information, call 415-3893 for the Civil War Days at Riverfront Park. Let's see, coming up also on September 17th, this will be the following weekend. This will be 2 weeks out. Or actually, let's see, is that 3 weeks out? I don't know. You do the math. Let's see, September 17th, 2016, Live Oak Festival. Fun for all ages. Parade at 10 a.m. on Broadway. Festival opens at 11 a.m. at Live Oak Memorial Park. There'll be food and craft vendors. Free admission. There's parking, car show, entertainment, and much more. So tons to do, and there's more events listed on this page out of the Territorial Dispatch called Community Events. So pick yourself up. Territorial Dispatch are all over the community, or you can just go downtown Marysville and pick one up at the store. They have a stand out front of recent copies. You can just grab one right out there. Okay, as I said before the break, I wanted to play some clips by Mark Baird about the state of Jefferson. I could tell you myself, but Mark says things in a much more clear and concise way. So the first clip I want to play is called A Long Train of Abuses, and this kind of plays into the whole bullet train thing, that boondoggle that we're being subject to by the state of California. This thing is costing us hundreds of millions. By the time it's done, it'll cost us billions of dollars, if it ever gets done. This thing may go on for decades. There's no way to tell. This could be worse than the Big Dig in Boston, and whatever it is, the boondoggle. So let's hear Mark Baird tell us about A Long Train of Abuses.
Now, also, we find in our rules, in the rules we live by, that we are bound as human beings to suffer a long train of abuses. In other words, we don't do these things lightly. We're not prone to violence. We're not prone to harm our neighbors for disagreeing with us. We're not prone to harm our neighbors for having a different political agenda than we have. That's not who we are. We are supposed to suffer a long train of abuses before we use the right to alter or reform government. And by the way, the California Constitution gives us the same right. Article 2, Section 1. All just power is derived from the people. All just power. And it is their right to alter or reform government anytime the public good demands it. So we have double jurisdiction in what we're trying to do here. What is a long train of abuses? I mean, that's as old as humankind itself, the abuses. It goes way back to the Bible. Let my people go. What was happening to the Jewish people in Egypt? And they demanded that they be let go. And when Pharaoh did not let them go, they did something about it by appealing to the supreme judge of the world, as George Washington called him, and Thomas Jefferson called him. And he acted on their behalf. We don't expect that now, but because we're fully capable of, as my mother said, who was an Irish Democrat, God helps those that help themselves. So we're going to help ourselves. But we appeal to the supreme judge of the world, and he will help us know when we have suffered that long train of abuses. And by gosh, that is now, people. If it isn't now, when? If we don't fight now, when will we fight? When? And if we don't fight here, where will we fight? I could run away to Idaho or Utah. I mean, my son isn't interested in ranching. I'm not saving the ranch for him. In fact, we plan on blowing the dough at some point, if we live that long, if there is any dough, if property's worth anything, a lot of ifs there. But still, the point is, we don't run because it's wrong. We don't allow the state to abuse us because it is wrong. And another thing, there's another component to that, and that's liberty. Your liberty was a gift to you and you didn't pay for it. It was paid for with the lives, the treasure, and the sacred honor of your fathers and your forefathers. They paid for your liberty with their lives and with their blood and with their money. John Hancock standing on Dorchester Heights and George Washington is talking about targeting the town. And John Hancock says, start with that big house over there. That's where Commander Gage lives. Whose house is that? It's mine. Bomb my house first. If we don't all live by that, we're going to lose. If we don't all find selflessness instead of selfishness, we're going to lose. If we don't all give, we're going to lose. If we don't all want this bad enough to work for it and sacrifice for it and risk for it, we're going to lose.
That's Mark Baird talking about what it takes, how much we will put up with before we fight back. And there's many ways to fight back. And right now, the way we are fighting back is to create our own state, the state of Jefferson. And there are many ways that our liberties are taken from us. And probably the most insidious way, although it is a necessary way. I understand that taxation is a necessary evil, but we are so used to having our taxes increased by such little amounts that we don't really notice it. It's a penny here, penny there, 1% here, 2% there. But sometimes, man, they just go for it. And I'm reading an article on capoliticalreview.com. This is written by Chris Reed, and it's called A 17-Cent Gas Tax Hike on the Horizon. And I'm just going to read right from the article. It says, the Democratic member who has led the push in the Assembly for a gas tax hike to pay for transportation improvements is teaming with the Democratic senator who has played the same role in his chamber. And the pair want to be far bolder than Governor Jerry Brown was in his 2015 proposal. Assemblyman Jim Frazier from Oakley and Senator Jim Beal from San Jose proposed a 17-cent per gallon tax increase to fund a $7.4 billion transportation program with likely additional annual hikes after adoption because the rate is indexed to inflation. They also want to increase the tax on diesel fuels by 30 cents a gallon with the same indexing provision and to make it easier to get approvals for transportation infrastructure improvements. The story goes on from there, but there's just a few things there that these people that are imposing these taxes on us, most of them have never owned a business in their lives, so they don't know what it does to a business when they increase a tax little by little. But man, when you start adding 17 cents per gallon, 30 cents a gallon for diesel, you know, most of your food and goods are delivered to the store on vehicles that use primarily diesel fuel. And those things take thousands of gallons to run. Those things are running constantly. And that just adds to your costs. So that means they'll either raise the price on the goods and services, or the stores have to lay people off. There's a number of negative results from all these taxes. But this is unreal. They say they want to do it to fund a $7.4 billion transportation program. That's ridiculous. We already pay the highest gas taxes in the country. Well, I think we're close to, I think we're third or fourth. when it comes to gas taxes. And you can see for yourself the shape our roads are in. I mean, from time to time, we do get a new spur or overpass or something. I just drove down to Rockland a couple of days, hadn't been down that way in probably 10 years or so. And I was amazed at the new roads that connect 65 and 80. You can just bypass Lincoln and all that stuff now and just head straight down to 80. Just free as a bird, man. It's very cool. So I'm not saying that none of this money goes to roads and bridges and infrastructure, but the vast majority of it goes to pay for other projects. Just because they say it's to fund a transportation program doesn't mean that's what it goes to. Yeah, some of it does. They do have to put up a facade, and they have to do some road work. We will notice when the roads get too bad, when your car disappears into a pothole, that's when you're probably going to say something, and that's when the road will finally get addressed. Anyway, I want to play another clip here by Mark Baird, and this is called "The Reason We Have Government," and it's not. Part of it is to build roads and bridges, but that's not the primary reason. And I want Mark Baird to explain the primary reason we have government.
You have the right to your liberty. That is an inalienable right given you by God, which you enjoy if you never saw another human being as long as you lived. If you lived in that hole in the ground on the side of the Himalayan mountains, you have your liberty. You can go where you want and you can do what you want. Now, the problem with liberty is you can only do those things unless you harm your neighbor in the doing, because he has the right to his liberty as well. And when you have enough neighbors that also enjoy liberty, now you come into the reason we have government. Because as people, we have inalienable rights. We have natural rights. We have God-given rights. But when we have a lot of neighbors who also have rights, we have to examine those rights to see where they intersect with our neighbor's liberty. And when we find that they do, and in places that we find that they do, and situations we find that our rights interfere with our neighbor's rights, government must be instituted among men to secure the rights of the governed. That's the reason for government. That's the only reason for government, to secure the rights of the government. We don't ask government for our rights. We, the people, create government to guarantee the rights that God has already given us, and to guarantee to our neighbor that with laws and civil laws, and that's what Blackstone called civil liberty. He said you have natural rights, you have absolute rights. But when you join with a society that requires government, certain rights must be delegated on a temporary, very defined, very limited basis to government in order to secure the liberty that you hold most dear. And that's why government is instituted among men. When government fails in that duty and that responsibility, Declaration of Independence, it is the right of the people, not the permission. It is the right of the people to alter or abolish that form of government anytime the public good demands it. Anytime. You created government. You have all the power. You have the inalienable right to alter that government or remove yourself from it anytime the public good demands.
Well, we're coming up on the end of the show already. I want to thank you for tuning in to Radio Free Jefferson. Leon, do we have time to play that clip called Give Us Liberty? No, don't have time for that? Okay, good deal. Well, I'll play that. I'll play that next week. Let's see here. I want to remind you to stay tuned to KMYC, 1410 a.m. Keep it tuned in here all day. Coming up in a few minutes from 9 to noon, it's Live with Lou Benninger. From noon to 2 p.m., it's The Great American Story with Bob Day. From 2 to 4 p.m., it's The Good Life with Mike, the Wine Guy Rayford. Then from 4 to 5 p.m., it's Safari Real Estate with Lori Strunk. And then 5 to 6, The Dirt, also with Lori. And then during the week, listen to Agenda 21 Radio on Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Paul Preston's show, Agenda 21 Radio, and visit his website, agenda21radio.news. And then come out Monday night from 6:30 to 8:30 roughly 8:30, for the Sutter County State of Jefferson meeting. This is at the Church of Glad Tidings, 1179 Eager Road. And then the following Monday, it's the Sutter Buttes Tea Party Patriots meeting. This is our Labor Day barbecue from 2 to 5 p.m. It's earlier than normal. That will also be at the Church of Glad Tidings. So come on out and have fun with your friends and neighbors, and get to know more about the state of Jefferson. And just come on out and just have a good old time. Well, thank you for listening to Radio Free Jefferson. Thank you, Leon, for running the board today. We will catch you next Saturday, 8 to 9 a.m., and Sunday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. See you next week.
What's on my mind? I said what I believe in my soul, ain't what I see with my eyes, and we can't turn our back this time. I am a patriot, and I love my country, because my country is all I know. I wanna be with my family, people who understand me. I've got nowhere else to go. And the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous someday. And I was talking with my sister, she looked so fine. Baby, what's on your mind? She said, I want to run like the lion, released from the cages, released from the rages, burning in my heart tonight. Yeah. And I ain't no communist, and I ain't no capitalist, and I ain't no socialist, and I ain't no imperialist, and I ain't no Democrat, sure ain't no Republican. I only know one party, and it is freedom. I am a patriot, and I love my country, because my country is all I know. And the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous someday.
The state of Jefferson, more than a state of mind. KMYC 1410 AM, The Patriot.
Fox News Radio.